Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you find yourself in this world of ours. Today we take ourselves back to Dragon Age Rise of the Qunari, where a assault on the port town southern side near the Inquisition headquarters was attempted. Luckily, our heroes managed to arrive in time and push off a few of the Qunari raiders, but at a loss. Now our camera pans back down to the little coastal town where Blondie, Saris, and a few others are recuperating after what had happened. And after Saris and Blondie had discovered a uh, turncoat from the Qunari raiders who did not like what his associates were doing and was very injured when they discovered him and is now currently resting in the village hospital, so to speak. So our camera will pan down to Saris and Blondie, currently recuperating in the med.
Yeah, Cyrus has just been out running, and she comes in and she'll just look around and go, "Oh, hey, Blonde. Uh, you
Hey,
doing all right?"
Saris. Oh yeah, I'm fine. You see him. He's got a blank book open up, and he's doing some sort of odd writing inside the book, and it's in a language you don't seem to recognize. Seems to be doing. Seems to be making scrolls and whatnot.
Hmm.
Do you have a good jog?
Oh yeah. I kind of have to. Well, I don't know. I feel weird if I don't. So, you need any help with that?
Well, I might actually need a little bit of help with that
Oh,
if you're up
right.
for it.
Just gonna take a bath real quick, but sure.
Of course. The baths are out back.
Oh yeah, I know. And I'll be back in 10 minutes.
I always forget how much easier it is with prestidigitation.
She just looks at you, or looks at him and just says, "So you don't take baths, you just appear as though you've taken baths. That's a
Oh,
bit
I
gross, but
oh
okay.
I take baths, but how best can I show you the example? Have you ever seen prestidigitation work?
A couple of times.
Yeah, it can be used for a variety of different things. A lot of people don't even realize it, but you can clean yourself off with it quite quickly. It helps when you're on the battlefield and you don't have access to baths or showers.
Hmm, I guess.
It can even eradicate smells.
Hmm, handy. Oh well. I'll be yeah, I'll be up back.
Hmm. And you see him. He lights a little wick of incense, and then he gets out this big copper bowl. And before you leave to go do your bath, you see him kind of put some stuff into it.
Hmm. Yeah, she'll clean herself and like 5, 10 minutes will pass and then she'll come back. Just drying her hair and she'll just say, "So, what are you doing?"
Well, when that ship shot at us, I decided to investigate the ammunition that was used. And I found a small little portion of a substance that I'm unfamiliar with, so I'm doing a few tests on it. And I wanted to ask you if you could help me with this little spell I might be doing. I've developed these scrolls specifically to where people of non magic may use them, and I was wondering if you could give me a little bit of protection here while I'm doing this, just in case it well explodes.
Want me to jump in front of you or what?
Oh no! I just need you to read this scroll while I'm focusing on my spell and doing this work right here in the
Oh,
bowl.
oh, sure, I can do that.
Of course. He hands you a scroll paper, and at first you look at it, and the words don't seem to make sense to you. But then, as you hold it for a few minutes, you can see the words start to form and bend in your mind, and it's very easy to read now, and it just seems to be a very standard protection spell. It seems like when you hold the scroll for a certain amount of time, even if it's written in language, if it attunes to you, then you can use it. This is something in particular you haven't noticed in a very long time because it's not a particular type of magic that is seen very often.
Nope.
Most of the time, it is users and users only that can use their own magic or tools, but that seems to be changing. There were rumors before you left for the Inquisition that magic in the world was changing to a degree. And it seems that this is one of those major changes.
She doesn't ask about anything. She just kind of braces herself and begins to read.
Yep, as you start to read, you can feel the power kind of flow off the page, flow over to Blondie, and make a small, almost shimmering shield around him. As he goes about his work, he starts adding different chemicals to the bowl, and then he starts to cast a spell himself in a language you're not familiar with. He starts to wave his hand over the bowl, and he does some minor incantations. And as he's waving his hand over the bowl, you can see the powder start to ignite, and then it does a little bit of a flash. And then he goes and he does another spell, does another flash. And then he goes to a third spell, and the powder explodes the bowl that's in his hand, and everything just shatters all over the place. It's not a massive explosion, but the bowl is gone. And after a few moments, he kind of waves his hand and says, "So, well, that's what happens when you add iron oxide mixture to that. Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say, like, sorry?
no worries." And you see that he's unscathed because the protection spell easily blocked pretty much everything that came. And he looks down at the bowl, kind of scratching his chin a bit. And he says, so that's how they did it. But how on earth do they mass produce that without someone dropping something? I figured out that the material that the Qunari have been using to make their new blasting powder is very similar to what we here in Ferelden use for cannons and igniting, certain things and whatnot. It's a very similar process. But the problem is that it's highly unstable, meaning that if you just drop a little bit, even just if I took a pinch of powder and dropped it on the ground, it would create a small explosion. Highly unstable, this concoction. What I'm curious about is how in the hell they're developing it on a mass scale. They must be being very careful or must have a different technique that I'm not seeing, because as far as I know, in its volatile state like this, it's a highly explosive substance.
Well, it makes sense to look into it. I'm not too comfortable with handling explosives, but I mean, are you I mean, I suppose you need to experiment, but couldn't there be?
Oh no, I understand. This will definitely be experimenting under different circumstances, and I'll need to consult with some of our alchemists back at home here. I'm not really a professional with alchemy myself, but I had to find out and see something that was on my mind.
By the way, regarding our fight, can I get you to check on my wounds? It's mostly when the arrow came in, because I can't really see it. Well, I can, but just need a second opinion, honestly.
He goes over to where you're bandaged and he looks at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that she has had the time to use the healing ability.
Oh,
that
yeah.
monks have on herself.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much like there's probably not even a scar. It's just gone.
Yeah, he's just looking. He's going to do a little medicine check here. Yeah. Looks you over. He looks you over for a bit. And then he seems to do a minor incantation, kind of starts looking up and down. He says, "Well, there was poison, and it was definitely going through your stream, but it's you seem to have shrugged it off. It didn't seem to get you in any lethal doses. Um, there's a small bit of poison still left superficially on the skin, but it's in such small amounts that I wouldn't worry about it at all."
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. It's
Of course, you heal very well.
oh, thanks. I got a little bit of help from. Well, it's a long story. So
It's at this point that you see a raven fly down, and it lands on one of the windowsills in front of you guys. Has a little piece of paper strapped to its leg. Seems to look at Blondie and go, "Ah!" Blondie kind of stands up and goes over to it, takes off the piece of paper, reads it, looks back at Saris, and then he looks at the raven, puts the paper back on, sends the raven away, and he says, "Well, informed them of what happened. They want us to bring our little Kunari friend there back to the Inquisition for questioning, and they would like us to return. It seems that they will be sending aid to start repairs and defenses here, and we should be good."
okay. Have you had a chance to look over the thing you busted up, making sure that it's gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Super. Good work. She kind of just like gives him like a tap, or like just doesn't punch him, but just like a closed fist on his shoulder, lightly. We made a good team.
We did. And I definitely want to work with you more in the future. He gives you a smile.
She looks at him and goes, "Oh, you'd like that? Well, okay."
He raises an eyebrow.
Huh.
He says,
Just
"Well,
well, guys normally say something different to me, but kind of along the same lines. But oh well."
He looks at you and he's like, "Well, if by all means next time we work together, do let me know what I say and should say. Say and shouldn't say, I should say."
Oh, I'll keep that in mind. She smiles at him.
He gives you a very nice grin back. He's like, "Come on, let's help this guy get back."
Yeah, let's do it.
So you guys get the guy on the cart. He's still pretty hurt, although he's healed a lot more than last time. But he was very close to death, and even with magical healing and the attention that you guys gave him as soon as you could, he's going to be probably out for another day.
Which is totally fine. Saris is, well, Saris is just gonna, she's not gonna carry him, but she's gonna help him as much as she can.
Yep.
Um,
Guys,
yeah.
Guys aid him to the cart. He's like, "Thank you." Lays
Hey,
down.
don't mention it,
back.
big guy.
still a little bit groggy, but you notice that his not only that he's not as pale as he was. And you two head back to the Inquisition headquarters.
Hmm.
Serena,
Yeah.
as you are standing at the battlements, just looking out, minding your own business, thinking about the conversation that you had the other day, you see
What
Blondie
conversation?
you see Blondie and Saris come back with just a single cart, start to slowly approach back from the port city around, they probably left morning, so it's about a little after midday right now.
Mm-hmm. I shall go downstairs and greet them, I suppose.
Saris, as you and Blondie and the Kunari turncoat are approaching the gates, and the gates are opening, you can see Serena standing there. Seems to be waiting for you.
Hello again.
Hey, sorry. Hey, Blondie.
Hey, Serena.
Who's your friend?
Oh, this one?
Is he a friend?
I
Very
believe
suspicious.
I believe so. I mean, I have no reason to doubt him yet, but I'm sure that will be cleared up sooner or later here. He is apparently a turncoat of sorts from the Kunari Raiders on that
A
little...
turncoat or a spy?
Exactly. That's why we're going to have him questioned, but for right now, he's not going to be much of a problem.
I sure hope so. Did you restrain him?
Kind of looks back, and you look back at the guy, and he, from your experience in injuries and battle, Serena, it looks like this guy's not going to be moving for a while. Like, he looked
I
like...
see.
He kind of looks like a guy who, like, got shot with, 50 arrows and then had all of them taken out and then just barely managed to survive.
Okay. So how you want to do this?
Well, Liliana told us that we're to put him in one of the cells and await further instructions. At least I am, anyway.
Okay. Then I'm not gonna get involved with that. Whatever Liliana decides is best.
Speaking of which, Serena,
Mm-hmm.
did you hear that explosion that happened, at least according to the reports, somewhat yesterday in one of our alchemy labs here?
Maybe.
He kind of narrows his eyes and looks at you, and then he looks over at Saris, and then he
We
looks back at
have
Serena.
we have a new alchemist.
Ah.
A bomb guy. It could be him, but I haven't really looked into it.
I see. Well,
Remind me to just have a healthy distance to the alchemy labs. I'll be good.
Yeah, I told him when he arrived that he should probably have a lab outside of the keep. Don't know what happened with that, honestly.
well, we can only do so much. Oh, by the way, Saris, I almost forgot. There's a few people that you can go and speak with if you wanted to do some specific training to your expectations. There are others like yourself in the Inquisition, and they'd be probably more than happy to share information with you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks. I just have to get something done first. I have to find mail. Yeah, I'm just gonna find out how to send a message back to Demerin, but I'm gonna actually have to do that first, I think.
I think you could ask Liliana. Maybe she has messages going out there anyway. What's one more, right? But be
Indeed.
aware that you probably read it before she sends it off. So
I mean, she is
Well,
our raven.
go ahead.
She is our raven master, so yeah, she would definitely be the one to talk with for sending messages quickly over distances. Unless you want one of us to attempt a sending spell, but that can be funny sometimes.
Well, it's not really well, it's a message, but it's I just need to send something. It's fine. I'll work it out. I don't think a pigeon can carry it. Well, a raven can carry it.
oh, so you're sending items then?
Well, it has some weight, sure.
That can be arranged depending upon how heavy it is.
How much does 1,500 gold pieces weigh?
That you may have to send by courier, Saris, but that would still arrive not too much farther.
You want to send gold? That
Yeah.
will be dangerous, to say the least, for whoever's carrying it.
Well, to be
Yeah,
fair,
I know.
Serena, to be fair, Serena, we have a lot of eager new recruits that could use some work.
Well, I suppose I
Well,
could buy something and send it. Not sure. Maybe I'll talk to Liliana. I need to write a message. Anyway.
I mean, if there was, if we had a banker, you could get a credit slip and send that.
We do indeed have a banker here.
Well, there you go.
Well, I guess I'll have to look at that. Well, banker. Well, that's not something I would expect to use myself, but oh well.
Indeed, especially with war times coming up, people need ways to get money across the stations as quickly as possible.
Mm. So, Blondie, are you sticking around here or what?
Oh yes, after we get our friend here to his hospitable room, he says in quotes, then I'll be free for most of the rest of the day if you have any need of me. But mostly I'm just going to be probably continuing my writing.
Okay. All right. She just smiles and she will go and see the banker.
Serena will continue walking with Blondie because he wants to talk about the other raid that went bad.
Mm. We'll go ahead and do that scene in just a sec here. First, I'll do Saris. Saris, you go up to the banker and let me go ahead and get his picture up. Oops, wrong picture, sorry. My mistake. Her. And she, you go over to kind of the more office/financial kind of area of the castle, and there's a lot of paperwork and office and gold stacks and coins and maps and everything. And one of the offices literally says, banker, payroller, or whatever. And you proceed in, and you see this woman sitting behind one of the desks.
And she will go over and she will introduce herself and she'll just say, "Hello, I'm Saris. Fairly new recruit. I don't believe I've met you before."
Oh, a pleasure to meet you, Saris. My name is Jade.
Oh, hello. Well, yeah, I just recently got some money, and I would like to. Well, what I need is a credit slip for about half of it, and I want to send it somewhere. Can you do that?
Yes, I can. She already gets out a long, thin strip of paper, and she's like, full name, please?
Saris, Denarian.
Saris Denarian. amount being sent?
1,250.
And is that in Ferelden coin?
What is the currency that
Yeah,
we got from
basically she's asking if it's standard Ferelden crown is what she's asking.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Standard Ferelden crown. Okay. And is there any particular date or time that you wish to have the slip be put on hold, or do you wish it to be immediate and straight to the point?
Well, I mean, it's going to go to Denerim, so
Okay.
it's going to be a couple of days from now before it's usable.
Yep. Denerim, and who is the receiver or occupant?
Denarian Emporium. It's my family's business.
I see. Denarium Emporium, and stated city name, person to go to. Are there any people of particular interest that this will be credited to?
And I don't have the names, but she will give all her siblings names.
Okay, she writes those down. And then she takes a little wax seal, takes one of her, you notice that she's got an ingot ring on, and she presses the wax seal to it. And then she comes over and says, one more, please. And then she rolls up the paper, folds it up into a very neat kind of scroll-like roll to send with a bird or whatnot. And then she puts one more wax seal on the front, and then she says, would you give me your Inquisition seal, please?
Do I have some? So
Yes,
have
yes. Remember,
okay,
Priscilla gave you one.
Okay. Then she will oblige.
And then Jade kind of looks up at you and she says, each Inquisition seal that we give out to members or recruits is actually not the same. Each one has a unique marking that kind of distinguishes, shall we say, me from you or whatnot, or a number that has been carved into, particularly in the front area here, and she points to the upper corner. So, when you put it on a seal like so, and then she turns the seal back to you after blowing on it a bit, and you see the Inquisition seal on the front, but then you see a small little number up at the top, which in your case would be 8. And she says, and that way we can identify who's been sending what.
That is ingenious.
And she goes over to one of the cages, gets out a raven, and sends it.
As soon as it's gone, Ceres seems to smile a bit. And if I don't want to carry this around, the other half, can I just deposit that? Or
yes, actually, we don't exactly have massive guild banks or guild vaults here at the Inquisition, but yes, you can deposit if you wish.
I will.
All right, I'll go ahead and start up a little space here in your name. I'll find a little place in the vault here, and we'll get you set up. She starts writing down and goes through the whole process again. And then she says, how much will you be depositing today?
The same thing, 1,250. The
Excellent.
other half.
And she'll take your gold and she'll put it in kind of like this. Oddly enough, this is when it gets a little bit odd. You see her take your coin purse, and she goes over to a wall, and it's just looking like you. It just looks like a blank wall. And you see her start to kind of like look for like certain things. Like she'll look across, and then she looks across down, almost like she's scanning, like looking for the right space in like a drawer or something. And then she goes down and she's like, aha, here. And she snaps her fingers, and you see a small little kind of space open up in the stone. And she puts the coin space there, and it slides back in. And then it just looks like a normal wall.
All right. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Will there be anything else, Ceres?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. You have a good one now, dearie.
Oh, same to you. And Ceres hasn't spent much time around this place, so she's going to take a bit of a walk, just see what's where and who's where and stuff.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll go back to Serena here really quick. As you're walking with Blondie back to the mess hall area, or not to the mess hall area, to the garden area.
Aren't we taking him to the fucking cellar or something?
Well, you
Not
did.
cellar, dungeon or something?
Yeah, you did. I assume this conversation is going to happen after all three of you plopped him in the cellar.
Okay. Did you hear about the other raid?
Only just yesterday. It seems that things went poorly.
Yeah, that would be quite an understatement.
From what I hear, there were no survivors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that outpost is lost.
And so the horrors of war are now approaching upon us.
We should have anticipated it.
Kind of looks. He looks genuinely pained.
I think we should be recruiting more.
Agreed. Although our numbers have risen, it's still nowhere what we should have it at.
I mean, clearly we couldn't even hold two separate outposts, and we barely saved the one in the north.
We also have enemies that are a lot more equipped and informed than we originally thought.
Not to mention spies. I assume you did hear about an incident that happened here in the keep a few days ago.
Yes, supposedly.
Yeah, the distraction. But if they were able to get in here, who's to say that they haven't been before?
I agree with you.
It's very troubling.
Well, a couple of me and the other apostates could do some sweeps, but other than that, I'm not sure what we're going to do here. In lighter news, we do have some new recruits coming in a couple days.
Oh, where did you find those?
I decided to ask around for people who wanted to make some coin, and some people I knew. Turns out some old associates of mine might be joining us.
Well, I suppose at this point we can get any help we can get, actually.
He jokingly kind of talks in a mocking voice, and he's like, "Well, we brought you in, am I right?"
Hmm. Well, I have my uses, I suppose.
Chuckles, and he's like, "Yeah, if I ever need someone stabbed, I'll let you know."
Well, you have to admit I'm pretty good at stabbing.
Yeah, you're pretty good at stabbing. I mean, they've nicknamed you the Angel of Death.
Oh. Hmm. Really now? I thought that was just Porthos.
I know it's a bit melodramatic, but well, when Porthos gets drunk and then goes down to the bar and then everyone starts talking about it, you know how it goes.
Well, I would prefer it if they didn't know it was me. That would be even more dramatic, I suppose. But anyway, what's done is done. I don't mind it. In fact, I may like it. That means that people won't bug me too much.
He pokes you in the shoulder.
I'll give him a like murdery glare.
He just shrugs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still chuckle a bit. Oh, still works though.
He's like, "Yeah." He thinks for a moment and then he looks at you very slyly and he's like, I wonder what Colin would think of that nickname.
Why would you bring that up?
Well, because he looks over on the cross to the battlement wall. In all honesty, you want the truth, Serena?
Yes.
I think he got a bit more hurt in that last expedition from what I heard, and he's not showing it. He didn't accept any healing word from Zach or anyone else. He just went straight to his office after the expedition was over, after he talked with you, supposedly, and he's not been out of his office for... Let's see, he looks up at the sun and he kind of counts on his hand. He's like, 16 hours now.
Well, last I saw him, I was also injured with an arrow.
True, but from what I know about Colin, he's a bit of a workaholic. So to be locked away in his office for 16 hours without even coming out and so much as grabbing morning breakfast.
Are you trying to make me worry?
I'm just consider it, well, we're all allies here. I worry about everyone. It's just something I noticed.
I'm gonna roll sense motive because I don't know what the fuck this guy knows. I don't know what the fuck this guy
Roll sense motive.
wants. Like, what do I mean? Fuck. 19.
He appears to be pretty when he gets to the part where he says Colin was in his office for 16 hours. That appears to be genuine. When he says the part about he's concerned about everyone, seems to be pretty genuine. When he gets to the part where you said you were injured, he seems to hide something on his face. You caught it, but you couldn't quite tell what it was. But as for his concern for you and the others, that does appear to be genuine.
How about the first statement that he made about the Angel of Death thing and Colin? What was that about?
That seemed to be you're not sure. It was too quick. Like his face did something. Like his face looked a little bit painful at first, but he hit it so quickly that it was really hard to tell what exactly like that read was supposed to mean. But you can definitely tell that there was something there. You just can't quite pinpoint what it was.
Okay, I want to fish out what he knows in terms of rumors, because I suspect that he has heard something. That's why he specifically said that. So
Okay,
what
as
is the
a-
roll to
Well, no,
try
as-
and fish it out?
I'll just go ahead and have you take 10. Like if you guys talk about rumors, he's pretty open. He's not trying to bullshit you. In
Yeah,
terms
but
of,
but I don't want to be direct and open
I
about
know.
it.
I'll just
Fish about it.
you can roll me a diplomacy.
Okay. Oh fuck! I'm bad at this. Oh fuck! Okay, one moment.
I mean, you could roll me an etiquette too, but I don't even think you have etiquette.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh god. Give me a crit. 8.
Okay, so you're being very obvious that you're trying to milk him for information, but he's nice. He's gonna talk to you a bit. In terms of rumors, he doesn't know shit. The only reason that he made that comment was because he saw you and Colin.
How?
Talk-
He wasn't here.
He was there.
When?
When you and Colin came back from the mess hall and were doing that little talk, he was there.
What? Okay, I'm confused because I don't remember that at all.
Well, remember, no one knows about what happened that you and Colin talked about in the office, and no one knows what happened when you talked about. I think actually you have had 2 conversations in the office that no one else was there around to hear. But you
No,
had
one
2.
was in the office, one was in his bedroom.
Yeah, one was in the office. Well, one was in the office, one was in the bedroom, and no one knows what you guys said in those.
Yeah.
But you were seen coming back and forth from his office. Not to mention when you were talking with him in the hallway as you were coming down the stairs and walking past the mess hall and whatnot, that he was there for.
Okay.
So literally the only assumption that he's been doing, like that he's teasing you about, is the fact that he's basically seen you leave Cullen's office like 3 or 4 times now.
Okay. Well, to dispel any rumors there, that's strictly business. Which is true. I won't roll bluff because it's true.
Bluff.
I'm in charge of his treatment. That's business, okay?
It's strictly business, as in Miss Serena Strickland.
No, I
Hey,
don't mean. Come on, it's
Hey.
not a bluff, is it?
Hey! At least you didn't say you were digging for information. All right, we'll go ahead and pause that for a moment. And Miss Violette.
Hello.
Hey, Miss Violette.
Is over there?
You fucked
Violette,
that up,
and-
bot.
And Miss Violette, I cannot fucking believe it, but I don't have a picture of fucking Dorian. Let me fix that real quick.
I'm very disappointed.
How could you not have a picture of the most fabulous gay man in all of Dragon Age? It's a tidbit nipply this morning.
I'm fixing it. What is he? He's a mage, right?
Yes, he's a mage.
Okay. No, I'm fixing it for you. I'm making overlay now. Don't be a bitch. Let me do it.
Well, for now, I'll use this.
With that glorious mustache.
Miss Violette,
Yes.
it is just a little bit after midday. What would the fabulous Violette be doing with her breasts? I mean, her time at this point.
Mhm.
Jacqueline would also like to know what she's doing with her breasts.
Jacqueline
course you
doesn't
would.
wake up the next morning. She would be doing several things. She would be planning for the Red Cliff situation, which she has codenamed Young Love. And she has sent a servant, one that she trusts, to get Dorian and to bring him to her quarters because she doesn't want to waste time walking around. She's got shit to plan.
Alrighty. It takes a little bit, but eventually you hear a knock at your door.
Enter.
Dorian enters. And he says, my, this is not where I expected to be called today. Certainly not after what happens the past few weeks.
Yes, the Inquisition has been quite busy. Please come in and do close the door.
Of course, I hope I haven't done anything wrong. He kind of looks at you with that kind of face.
Mhm. Well, we'll get to that.
S&M starts playing in the background.
He looks up and he stops walking in and he kind of backs up toward the door just a little bit and he puts his hands up and he says, "Now I swear that cart and that horse, that was not me. That was Bull. I think he was drunk, but that was not me. It was Bull. Yes, it was Bull."
She does nothing. She actually, well, she does do something, a terrifying thing. She tears her attention away from the planning to look at him. Doesn't say anything, just looks at him.
He looks at you.
Well, sometimes, I don't know if you know this, but in interrogation things, sometimes when you don't say anything, they feel obligated to keep speaking. So she's not going to say that that's not what she's brought him in for. So she's
Yeah,
just kind of
he's-
like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he eventually stares and just stares back at you. And then eventually he kind of looks side to side and he's like, "So, what can I help you with today?"
There has been fatal excitement within the walls of the Inquisition.
Oh, well, that's the best kind of excitement.
I did not know that you were that kind of fond of the dead. But I guess we all have our interests.
He kind of looks at you with a little bit of a suspicious eye and he's like, "I suppose we do."
Oh, Dorian, I do not know. Well, no, that would be telling a lie. I expect that you keep your necromantic activities hidden from others because we both know such magics can be, how do you say, looked poorly upon in polite society.
He lets out a sigh and he says, "Well, I guess you got me."
That I do, and I am very thankful that we have a necromancer in the Inquisition for this individual who expired during the party. I am not done with him. There are answers that I would very much like to get from the deceased, but I do not have a link to the fate like you do.
And you want me to wave my hands over this gentleman and do my la 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 and have him tell you important information, I take it.
You make it sound like that is something you cannot do.
Oh, I can do it, but you have to understand that this kind of magic is very finicky. But I can definitely do it, and if anything, it should be entertaining to watch, at the very least. Even if everything goes to hell.
And now, forgive me, I know a great many things, but when it comes to magic and the fade, it is not my specialty. Do we need to uh, put a ring of salt around the corpse? Do we need to tie him down? What are the procedures here?
Well, to be fair, both of those would be good ideas because you never know what's going to happen, but probably put the blinds up, make it nice and dark in here, and I'll get started. I was wondering why Lead Inquisitor was looking at me with a smile on his face this morning. I'll have to remember to thank him later. Jackass.
This,
He knows I don't like this either. He was laughing at me.
this moment that we are sharing now is not to live beyond these walls. And yes, I understand that that sounded flirtatious. It was not.
Of course. I'll probably forget after tonight's drink anyway.
Splendid. And then she will, start closing the curtains and such. I mean, ever since she had the wandering eyes from that individual out in the field, they have been closed, but she will double check, make sure that everything is in order as he goes and gets salt and bind. Oh, actually, no. Violet would have bindings in her chambers. No, not for that reason.
I was gonna say I refer to my earlier comment.
Uh-huh. But yeah, she'll prep the body and do what needs to be done.
After another half an hour of preparation, Dorian steps up to the body, laying down. He lays his staff down and he starts to close his eyes and focus. Any light that is in the room begins to dim. And dim and dim and dim. And even the light that is coming through naturally or non-naturally starts to dim even more until it's almost just you and him in the light, but there's almost no light anymore. But you can clearly see yourself and him defined as you can this body. And after a while, his hands start to glow a very faint purple. And energy starts to flow into the body and out of the body. It's almost like reality itself has stopped momentarily. And then it starts to come back. Time starts to tick forward. You see Dorian go into almost a bit of a meditative trance with his eyes closed. And then after another 10 minutes or so of chanting, without opening his eyes, without even moving, Dorian says, "All right, I think you can ask him questions now. Let's see what happens." You see the body kind of cough and go, and then it opens its eyes in a very glazed, almost pure white milky film over them. Says,
Welcome back to the world of the living, even if it is only temporary. Give me what I want, and maybe we can resurrect you. I am speaking with, and then she'll give the name that she would have gotten at the party.
He says, "Yeah, that's that's me."
Tell me something. I'll ask him to tell me something that he shared with me at the party to verify that it is actually him.
He does.
Okay. Splendid. Now, you have been a rather naughty individual. I was not able to have conversation with you about what I really wanted to know before you went and killed yourself. But as you can see, we will just continue to rip you away from the Fade and ask you ask you questions until we get satisfied. This unrest will continue until you give us exactly what you want. Otherwise, you will never be.
Intimidation +5.
Okay. I'm threatening someone's soul. Okay.
Wow, he rolled surprisingly good for a dead guy.
Not good enough. Natural 20, bitch.
Fuck.
Natural 20, yes.
So at first he's like kind of sitting there looking at you like, "I'm going to defy you." And then he slowly starts to realize, "Oh, shit, I'm dead." And they're just gonna do this over and over and over again. Fuck. Not to
I think it
mention,
would be a little less of, oh, damn, and more of a holy shit, bitch, she's crazy.
well, it starts like that. He starts off in like kind of this, okay, and then as the realization hits him, it hits him like a freight train. And then he's like, "Oh, shit."
That
Miss-
clever little pill in your mouth won't help you this time.
"Miss Violette, what would you like to know?"
I know that you are an apostate, and I know that you were speaking with an individual from that organization. Tell me about it.
The organization, the only thing that I know specifically about them is that they are very old. They have been around in the kingdom of Ferelden for a long time. Since the Chantry's formation.
I will remind you that if you do lie, the repercussions will be significant.
He doesn't say anything.
Good. Now, they are ancient, they have been around before or shortly after the Chantry. What is it that they do?
They're scary. Only just recently did they actually make themselves known, but they've been shrouded in shadow for so long. So long. It wasn't until the Fifth Blight came around that they even emerged. They've been around for a long time. I don't know much about them, but they are an organization of assassins, diplomats, courtiers, people who have controlled and manipulated the kingdoms for so long. That's all. That's at least what the master was talking about.
Master. How very interesting. Tell me more about this master.
He's well, I went and I was a part of a group. Forgive me, my memory is shattered. It's coming through the fade as everything is hazy, but
Dorian, can you validate what he is saying?
you hear Dorian. He's like trying.
Oh,
And
yeah, God.
he's like, yes, I was a member of the select few families of. I was one of the players chosen. Players. Yes, like it's pieces on a board. And me and the family members and the others, we met in the clearing. So it was a little bit odd. And he came to us and he gave us things and taught us things and helped us plan it out. Interesting looking fellow.
Yes, tell me, what does he look like?
He's bald. I think he's Dalish.
The
Glowing.
master is Dalish.
Yes, glowing eyes. Green kind of suit. He had a staff. He had really creepy eyes. That's all I really remember about him.
A staff. Have you seen him perform any magic?
Oh yeah, he is definitely a wielder of the arts.
Do you think he comes from the... No, the fact that he is Dalish, he wouldn't have been in the circle. That makes him an apostate. Goodness gracious. Continue.
Well, we were all gathered together and told our parts and told that we would be paid and what we would do and the world would be a better place soon. The Kunari invasion was nothing to be scared of, that the real war would take place elsewhere.
You do understand now that he played you for a fool.
Well, perhaps. Perhaps he did. Or maybe it's you who's being played for the fool.
Might I remind you that it would be very unwise to upset me. I quite literally have your soul in my hand.
He sits up and he turns his head back towards you. His back is currently facing you. And he does the whole freaking owl thing. He turns his head all the way 360 around to look at you.
Mm.
And his eyes glow a bright green.
Ah, the master, I assume. It is a pleasure to meet you. Though I must say that it is a shame that we are not meeting face to face in the real.
Perhaps someday soon we will. Right now, it's not your concern. Please, stop this now, or you and the Inquisition will fall. You cannot stop what has been set in motion here right now.
What is exactly you want me to stop? The incantation on your puppet? Or you need to be more specific for me to know what to stop?
The face smiles just a little bit.
You clearly want us to stop doing something. If you truly mean that, you will tell us what we need to stop. Otherwise, we cannot stop.
Tell the Inquisitor to stop looking for me. Tell the Inquisition that I have found a solution to this land's problems. I have found one of the last sleepers of the Forgotten Ones.
Can I make a history roll to...
Yes, you may.
Oh, I've got a bonus on that. $16. Not the worst, not the best.
Just a moment. Here we go. The Tevinters worshipped 7 old gods. The first, and the leader of the others, was called Dumat.
Hang
The
on.
dragon... Sorry.
Dumat. Yeah, and you said the leader?
Yes. The leader of the others was called Dumat, the dragon of silence, and the archdemon of the first blight.
Dragon of Silence. First Blight Demon. Yep.
And that is all you know.
Okay.
When he says sleeper, he may be referring, from what you think, he might be referring to Razikale and Lysican. And
And list the what? Okay.
I'll copy and paste them because goofy names.
Yep.
Here we go.
I will make no promises, but I give you my word that the message will be relayed. I would very much, I don't know why I'm speaking like I'm from Transylvania. I would very much like to have another conversation with you. To my knowledge, you have many diplomats and courtiers. I find this beneficial to me.
The face gives a little bit of a slight smile, and then the body catches fire in a green fluorescent flame and just burns.
She would immediately look to Dorian and say, "Put it out! Put it out!"
He struggles all he can.
I will literally
out.
go over to my fucking my vanity and take out like a shot of lyrium and give it to him. Like, I deal with Templars, I deal with addicts for information. Of course, I'm gonna have lyrium.
He's like, that won't be necessary, and he like concentrates very, very hard. And he's like, whew. Fire slowly starts to diminish. And he's like, he looks up and he's like, damn it, Solus, you son of a...
Go on.
He was an ally of ours, so to speak.
Was.
Not anymore. He betrayed the Inquisition.
Oh dear. How big was this betrayal? What exactly did he do?
He lets out a sigh and he says, I think that would be a conversation that you should have with our Lord Inquisitor.
Of course, but before you go, there is one more thing that you should know. I am planning a party. Yes, another
Ooh,
party.
ooh, I love parties.
I know I heard about your googly eyes when Colin lost the game and ran off with nothing but his birthday suit.
He
Oh,
laughs.
the fortunes I would pay to see that. But in pure business, there is a reason why I am hosting this party, or rather, organizing this party. Um, we will be going on a journey.
Oh,
Yes. And I heard that your, how do you say, lifestyle leans toward the company of men.
he looks at you and although he gives a smile, um, he kind of looks down. And he's like, "Damn you, Bull."
Yeah, sure, blame him. Um, yes, I thought so. Very interesting. I think there will be some very interesting partners where we are going. And you would be a most splendid addition to our entourage.
So you would like me to accompany you then?
You are too precious to not invite. If you would appreciate, if you would clear your busy schedule to come to a party of mine, I would be most grateful. I assure you, there will be the most beautiful men and the most succulent of meats.
He looks at you and he says, "I think my schedule just freed itself up."
I thought so. Now run along. Thank you very much for your assistance. And remember, no talking about what happened here.
What happened?
Good. Here, for your trouble. And I will give him the lyrium potion.
Okay, he takes it.
Oh, and sorry, one more thing. If you can find the wine girl and bring her to me, that would be great. She said her name was what was her name? Sasha Seven. What was her name? It was very thrilled and Serena Serendipity, something with an S.
Dorian kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "Ah, yes, the servant wine cooler. Yeah, I could so pass on a message. Yeah." And he's just looking side to side. He's like, "Yeah, I could do that." And then he slowly closes the door and gives you a little wink, and then closes it.
He's not going to stick around for the message that I want to give her.
No, he's just kind of slowly. He does the awkward slide away. Actually, he literally, as he's closing the door, he looks at you, and as he starts sliding sideways, he's like, "Awkward slide."
Oh my god. Well, I got the majority of what I wanted out of Dorian, so that's good. I'm going to kind of, finish up a couple things on my tactician's table, hide the important things, purposefully plant misleading information, so people that may come in here might, steal something, but it will turn out to be wrong. And I will begin to walk around the Inquisition's area to find the Lord Inquisitor and hopefully find that wine woman.
All right. Let's go over to Jacqueline here, since she's been waiting patiently.
Oh, so patiently.
As you, it's about early evening now, and you slept in real late because you were up late working and doing alchemy and stuff. And for the first time, since it was the first night that you've gone to bed like this, you try to wake up, but then you feel a very, very heavy weight on your chest.
I open my eyes. Is it Brutus?
Yes.
Brutus, get off.
Oh.
I know. It was comfortable. It was time to
Dog,
get up.
dog gets off the bed and then just kind of wobbles on over to the his food and water bowl and just sits.
Well, Jacqueline will prepare herself, mostly. Still staying in her underwear, but moving around her lab and making sure alchemical things are still going as planned. What do I need to do today? Well, eventually we should probably take you for a walk around the ramparts. Hey, Brutus?
Oof. It
Guess
kind
that
of
means I need to put some clothes on.
he pushes the water and food bowl just a hair close to you.
I go and grab food and water for him.
He's like, and then his little stub just wags uncontrollably.
Going ballistic.
He looks very happy now that he has food.
Well, after he's gotten his fill and Jacqueline getting dressed, she'll take him along the ramparts for a walk.
It's at this point that you remember a little bit about the conversation that you had with Morrigan when the last session ended. She wanted to eventually speak with you in the future about just something, specifically you. But she said it couldn't. She said it could wait, but just and then everyone who was in the office talked a little more about the new concoctions, the bombs, and how warfare is changing and all that. And other than that, you noticed that she seemed to have a pained look on her face, but that's all you remember. And as you're walking the battlements with Brutus,
Mm-hmm.
You almost bump headlong into Serena.
Hello,
So now I'm at the
Serena.
battlements.
Apparently.
You're wherever you want to be, but yeah, you were walking somewhere.
Oh, hey, Jacqueline.
You were in transition from A to B.
Yeah, I suppose.
In all honesty, if you look at the actual map of the Inquisition headquarters that you guys are in, you kind of have to do that at certain places. There's funnels.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of funnels.
Yeah, so where was I going anyway?
That's up to you.
No.
So, just a correction. This is still Skyhold, right?
Yes.
Currently, yes,
Okay.
you guys are in Skyhold.
So, yes. Crap tons of funnels. So, what is it that you are heading to?
Brandon, help me out here. Where the fuck was I going?
What do you
You
need to
get
do?
no help from God.
What do you need to do every day, Serena, for a
Oh,
friend of yours?
god damn you.
Stop stroking him.
God damn it. Really?
It's, so, Christine, I'm honestly, you do need to do that today.
Yes,
so I
I know.
assume that you'd be
Yes.
heading there.
Okay.
But while Jacqueline's in the session, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no better time to do it.
See, I'm
Brandon,
not the only one trying to
uh,
fuck up your relationship. Even
no,
God's trying to fuck
man.
up your
Why,
relationship.
man? I told you this had to be done differently. Anyway. Well, I have some work to do.
Oh.
Roll a bluff.
It is work, damn it. Like, fuck. Fuck!
Hey, I might botch.
It's been-
Sense motive, or yeah,
Sense motive, yeah.
sense motive.
But it is work, damn it.
Well, to be fair, he's not gonna know what exactly you're doing. He's just gonna be able to read you. Let's see what he gets.
Remember, Jacqueline is helping with what's going on with Colin's arm.
Do I know that she knows?
You do not know that she knows. Jacqueline, you notice that Serena has something on her mind, and it doesn't seem like she's eager to go do it. That's all you can get from her.
Well, from what I can possibly guess,
Wait,
and Jacqueline
pause. What do you mean she's not eager to do it? She's more than eager to do it. She's not eager to tell Jacqueline.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Jacqueline kind of takes a look around the ramparts to see if anybody is near.
Are there any players nearby? I am asking mostly Saris
Where?
and Violette.
Where exactly are they located currently?
They are up on the battlements wall.
Battlements Wall. Sure, I'll be there. I mean, I'm looking for the Lord Inquisitor.
God damn it.
I purposely wasn't listening though, so I don't know what's going on. I like to keep meta not real.
Saris is nowhere near there.
I'm guessing Violette and the Inquisitor are off in the distance on the other side of the ramparts.
Yeah, I'll say that it's kind of separate. No one appears to be close enough to do any sort of perception on this conversation.
So, from what I can guess, is you're going to go help Colin.
That may or may not be correct. Why would you guess that?
Because I'm helping with his arm problem.
Oh, so you know. Okay.
I've known since the beginning.
Well, how am I
Zach came
supposed
to
know
me
this
with
now?
the problem as well, so we've been working in tandem on it, much to my chagrin.
I see. Well, I guess you'll be happy to know that it wasn't you put in charge with the treatment, and I have to do that.
Well, Zach knows exactly what my relationship with Colin is, so it's best that you are doing it instead of me.
I have to agree with that based on what you told me, but anyway, where are you off to?
Well, taking Brutus here for a walk. And,
I see you have a new pet.
Oof.
Can I pet it?
Little Stub
only if
starts
he
wagging.
allows.
Little Stub starts wagging furiously.
Well, I'm gonna extend my hand and let him smell me.
Dog kind of sniffs you, licks your hand a little bit, and then lets you pet him.
I'll pet him.
Hmm.
Who's a good boy?
By chance, have you seen Morgan about?
No, I haven't. I seem to remember there was to be a conversation with her.
Yes.
Well, I don't
Um,
expect to be included in that. But, well, if I see her, I will let her know that you're looking for her.
No need. I'm trying to find her as current. And I'd rather not have her wandering about the castle while I'm trying to find her.
Well, I don't know where she usually hangs, but I don't know, try the garden perhaps?
Let's see, was it the garden or was it
It was the garden. Yeah, it was the
okay.
garden kind of area.
Alright.
As our camera kind of pans away for a moment, Saris, do you have anything you wish to do?
Well, Ceres is gonna find Blondie again.
All right, go find her.
Ooh. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Alrighty, do. So you eventually find Blondie. He's down in his office, which is actually on the lower levels rather than the high levels. Kind of looks up. Oh, hey, Saris.
Hey, I was just wondering. So is this your place?
Oh, yes, this is where I do a lot of my work. I find it to be a lot more quiet than the upper areas.
Oh, makes sense. I'm guessing there's a lot of writing and scrolls and stuff.
There's books, scrolls, parchment, even a little kind of map of Ferelden. There's some charts. There is also a very strange looking station, which you'd guess to be maybe a small alchemical station, but it doesn't quite look like that. And then there is a very, very beautiful painting of a rose on the wall. And it's out of place. It is very out of place. His office is very, very not messy, not like messy, but like, things are strewn about, except for this area.
That's called organized chaos.
Except for this area where he has put this painting up. There is not a speck of dust on it. There is not anything anywhere near it. It's almost been kind of archwayed off as like its own little section of his office.
Ceres is just gonna take off her shoes and she's gonna walk in and she's gonna look around. She'll go over to the painting, just look at it.
Do you like that?
That's beautiful. I mean, I haven't seen much art. Alienage, well, if you have art like this, well, it's kind of an invitation to get robbed, I suppose.
Yes, it was done by my sister, actually. She'd wanted to be an artist.
But she's not here anymore.
See a little bit of pain flash across his face, and he says, "No, unfortunately. She died in the 5th Blade."
There's a bit of a nod. I'm sorry. I lost all our friends as well.
Yeah, it was a tough time for all of us, but it's past, and part of the reason I allied myself with the Inquisition, because certain members of the Inquisition helped stop that. And let's hope we prevent the next ones as well. But I keep this as memorabilia, so to speak. I could never find myself to let artwork like this go to waste.
Well,
Means a lot, so I keep it pristine. Despite the rest of my office, as you can see. He gives a little chuckle.
it's a nice sentiment. That makes sense.
I do appreciate you taking off your shoes. That actually is a mannerism that a lot of people forget nowadays. You say you grew up. You say you grew up there, or were you born elsewhere?
No, no, no. I grew up in Denver.
See, didn't realize that was a.
Orphanage, but
Did they have you do that out of?
no, no. This is just something I do due to my, well, time after, shall we say.
I see. Oh, once again, thank you very much. Helps prevent dirt and mud from getting tracked in.
That's quite all right.
You see that he's also barefoot, and he also has like this little area by the door where he hangs like his coat and whatnot.
She looks some of the books over. She'll get one of them.
Some of the books are like histories of Ferelden or like a lot of old history books. But then there's a couple where it's like the Arcane, Seven Circle Magi, and then there's one book that seems to just be full of letters. Like it's almost like not necessarily someone tried to put them into a manila folder or whatever, but it's got a lot of scriptures and excerpts that seem to be just from random things. And there actually appears to be pieces of paper with like letters or quotes or whatnot written on them, and they actually appear to be stitched into the book or plastered onto the book.
What is this?
Oh, that's a little bit of a collection that an individual that we came across a long time ago had. Apparently, the Inquisition wanted me to do a little research on what it actually was, but apparently it just seems to be a collage of quotes and scripts and extras that the individual found interesting, and he put them into the book for some reason. There's no magic in them whatsoever.
Well, that's something at least. She puts it back.
Do you know much about the history of Ferelden?
Well, I'm probably a bit biased, but people like me pretty much got enslaved. But I guess that's
He looks a little bit pained.
more than just Ferelden. That's the entire world, so.
Well, in some ways, we're all slaves.
Well, not like this. Not like some people still are. Some elves are still slaves.
Agreed. I think that should stop.
She stops and she just turns around, just looks at him. And why is that? Just because it's the right thing to do?
No. Because no one should have that much control over someone else. Ever. Not like that. Everyone here, unless acted upon otherwise, deserves some form of representation in our form of society. No one should have that right taken away from them.
I knew coming here was a good idea.
He smiles a bit, and it's for the first time you actually notice a little bit about him. You can't tell from his features, but he doesn't appear to be full human.
She stands there for a moment, looks at him. Her eyes go a bit wider, and she just... I was thinking, are you Shem or what?
He smiles and he's like, "What? That obvious?"
Well, I just didn't notice until... Well, we've had a lot of things to look at, let's say, but...
Indeed. My mother was Dalish. Father was human.
Well, that explains it. Well, I suppose it doesn't, because supposedly most people here are fairly open to everyone.
Indeed. It's comforting here. Everyone needs a home. And it's I don't mind calling this place a good home.
Do you still have family?
Shakes his head. No, not anymore.
I do.
Siblings?
Yeah,
Brothers, sisters?
both.
Ah, how many?
2 brothers, 1 sister.
Ah. And are you the oldest, youngest, in between?
I'm the youngest.
Ah.
Well, honestly, I'm the youngest, but I'm a half sister. Really, it's a difficult story. There was a
See.
reason I was in an orphanage.
Well,
I
I
didn't
won't
grow
cry.
up. I didn't grow up with my sister, but well, after I met them when I was 18-ish.
He nods. He's like, I won't cry. You can tell me whatever you please.
Well, I don't mind you prying. It's just a long story.
He nods a bit. He says, well, whenever you feel like telling me it, I'm always ready to listen. And I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Whip out that dick.
Oh my god, you're so fucking obvious.
She looks at him, just stands there, a bit leaned back, and just crosses her arms. Her arms cross her chest, and she goes, maybe.
He sits in the chair and he leans back in it and crosses his arms and says, maybe.
So you're busy right now?
Oh, my
not
god,
at all.
just fuck already.
Let's be
said-
fair. Let's be fair. He was saying it innocently. It's just our minds that are fucked up.
Okay, easy.
No, they're
guys.
gonna totally get it on, I'm sure.
All right. He says, no. I've got nothing else going on.
All right, good. And she goes over, closes the door, and I do believe this will be the moment that this part of the scene fades to black.
Oh.
You were fucking saying, bitch?
Oh my god!
Fuck me.
Wow, Peter!
Peter, you
son
just
of a
did that
motherfucker! Oh
You
my
just did
God.
that to, like, get back at me, huh?
I mean, we'll keep it in character, but like when people say, like, "Yeah, you don't dare, like, yeah."
Oh my god! First sex goes to Peter. Wow.
I have to admit, I did not see that coming. Coming.
All right,
I did. I called it. I fucking called it.
but I will
You
have
will-
to go out here, but I will see you guys later.
Sure thing. Have a good one, man.
I was
Nice.
hoping at least
Yeah, the game
one
fucking
character wasn't going to fuck an NPC.
We are all straying so
left.
far
Oh
from the
my
maker.
god. Okay, that was pretty epic though.
We're all horny little rabbits here, all of us.
I'm not. What the fuck are you talking about? I keep my fucking clam hidden beneath all of my frills.
Yes, but
clam's
it's
for the
still
maker.
there and it still drips.
No, I've had it welded shut.
Well, that must be uncomfortable when your period comes around.
No, I just bleed out my eyes.
You demonic, sexy bitch.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, for Jacqueline's sake, let's be honest here.
Oh my
Let's be
God.
honest here,
Yes,
guys.
she-
Come on.
She is a very promiscuous lesbian.
Okay. So I'm gonna go
Best
ahead.
kind of lesbian.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here unless Matthew has some declarations.
If he's saying something, he
Okay,
must
so
know
not.
he's muted.
So he's got nothing going. So unless anyone else has any last minute declarations, I'll call the session to a close. Does anyone have any last minute things they want? Oh wait, Serena, that's right. You have to go do your thing here. Real quick.
Yes.
And Jacqueline's talking to Morgan.
Yep. Oh well, this conversation between Jacqueline and Morgan we can do later at a later time. I do need to do Serena's real quick here because that's
Alrighty.
something that's supposed to happen.
Seriously?
Yep.
Seriously? Okay, but this is not the one that I wanted to do on one, right?
No, this is not the one that you wanted to do.
Okay,
one-on-one.
because if it was, you're fucking me, man, not the fun way.
Well,
Anyway.
if anything, just to speed it along, I'll say that you enter his office, and you
Yeah,
guys
I want
have
to examine his hand because Blondie said that he was injured more than he was saying, so I want to make sure what's going on there.
Yep.
You know what they say about big hands.
Jared.
All right. So
Stop.
so
So,
you walk into his office, and
I'll knock the door first because I'm not rude.
I'll say, "Come in, Serena."
Oh. Hello, Commander. How did you know it was me?
I had the window open.
Oh.
So I saw you. I saw you walking down the battlements. He chuckles.
Hmm. Interesting. I heard something. I heard you haven't been to the healer yet.
Well, it's because I'm fine.
Like, seriously, your arm is bandaged.
Yeah, I just. He stops and he rests his hand on his head. And he says, "I just."
Did it get
haven't-
worse?
No, it's gotten better. I'm getting memories of, flashbacks when I was not in control.
I don't see what that has to do with your getting healed for your injury there. We can. Okay, need to see how the hell to deal with this. So, what exactly are we talking about here? Like any weird side effects? Like jitters?
Well, it's all the typical, but it's just it's more along the feeling that I've had to resort back to this to deal with this problem rather than I thought it was over, and it is, and I don't have any strong urges or even any side effects that it used to be in that point in my life, but it just doesn't feel right. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, so I well, I think it's a bit early for you to get weird about it because if I'm honest with you, I believe that as soon as the treatment is over, that this is going to be when it gets hard because you will probably experience withdrawal.
Indeed, and that was something I was thinking of.
But listen, you were able to beat it before. I don't see why it would be a problem this time. Now that said, I will need to take a look at your arm.
He kind of grudgingly holds out his arm.
Okay, so what do I see? What's the damage here?
It looked like when he was wearing his full plate on his arm, kind of in the upper forearm area.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he took like some sort of hammer blow to it, and it's still a bit purple.
Mm-hmm.
but you don't notice any broken bones or anything. But it got smashed up pretty bad. And although it seems to have healed mostly, he definitely kind of looks like he took a blow there and didn't quite realize how hurt he was.
Hmm. Well, that's quite a bashing you have here.
Yeah, one of the Canary Raiders. I swear he was wielding a hammer that he should not have been able to wield. Ugh, that thing hurt.
Well, you've seen Kunari before, right?
I have,
Well,
but
you
still,
know the size of them, like, uh.
this one was 8 feet tall.
Well, yeah, and I assume you underestimated him.
Yes, much to my everlasting shame, as you can see.
Well, there's no shame in getting injured, and there's no shame in getting fixed when injured. So, why don't you go by Zach after we're done here?
All right. I confess, my arm has been twisted, and I will go see Zach. Smiles.
Good.
He says, you should go see Zach too.
Me? I'm.
To get a physical.
And he says, he looks over at your arm, and
My arm?
although you're healed, you still have the bandages wrapped around it. You haven't taken them off
It wasn't an arm, it was a leg.
leg. Sorry.
Oh, that. Yeah, I was planning to have just been busy with other things.
He kind of gives you like that look of and that's what I said.
Mm, no, you've been hidden in an office all day. I've been seen around doing work. So it's not even close to being the same here. Okay? Am I even convincing?
He's just looking at you like, nope.
I'm gonna roll bluff. Sorry, I'm gonna roll bluff. I have to.
You roll sense
Not a
motive.
very good sign of the relationship there.
Oh,
No, but there's a reason why. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. Anyway, fuck off. Fuck off, Jared.
so your bluff fails. And he
Yeah, I
just sits-
know.
Miserably.
Fine. Okay. I'll go. Okay, I wanted to ask you, I was talking with Blondie and he told me that people have given me a nickname that it's a bit ominous. And he wondered what you'd think of it. I was wondering if you've heard of that.
He says, "No, I haven't heard of this nickname."
Hmm.
He raises an eyebrow.
Say it.
I forgot.
Angel of death.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Okay. Apparently, they're calling me Angel of Death.
Edgelord Supreme.
And he's like, "That is fitting."
Wow. You too. Why?
You just have Serena, you just well, you radiate an aura of superiority and confusion. So it's fitting.
Well, I've been in charge of your treatment for a few days now. If you find this fitting, you wouldn't be trusting me with your life.
Oh, nonsense. Someone who has been around death as much as you would be the person to trust with life and death. Yeah, I bet you didn't think of that, Serena. He chuckles a bit.
You don't know the half of it.
I would like to know more about it. I really don't know too much about you.
She will look a bit concerned and maybe a bit sad when He says that, well, perhaps another time.
He nods. Yeah,
No, please, take a seat so I can
of
inject you with
course.
this poison thing.
Of course. He sits down, and the camera will pan away and go to Jacqueline on the battlements playing fetch with her dog, and camera will then fade to black, and the session will end. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.